Hey viewers, welcome to my orchid world. This is a continuation video of my previous one about the blooms that have opened up in my small shade house. There are two videos before this that I have uploaded. This is another one, the third one. Maybe I'll continue with it because there are many number of orchids which have put out spikes, and some of them are in buds right now. After a few days they will open up, the buds will open up and the blooms will be shown, and then maybe I'll make another video on this. And but this video is right now in front of you. There are few more orchids that have bloomed after I uploaded the last one. So let us start the video. First of all is the Aerides odorata, which is favorite among my subscribers and my viewers. Most of you, I must say, love this orchid. It is a pendant shaped orchid with multiple number of blooms hanging upside down. You can see, you have seen it many number of times in my previous videos. This is a species orchid, Wendysius orchid, and white colored with a small deep magenta colored streak on it. The blooms look like the head of an elephant with the trunk up, and that's why in my native place it is called Ganesh Kapoor. So that is the name for another name for elephant, we our deity. So nevertheless, you can see the blooms. This time I have got 16 or 17 number of spikes, which is quite huge for me. Many of the kikis that had appeared last year, I had donated it. I gave away many of them to my colleagues and two of my viewers. I plan to send more. Many of you have asked for it. I will try to send them. But right now, just enjoy the beauty of this orchid. This is a very fragrant orchid, and if you go near the place where it is blooming, you can just smell the fragrance around it. It just blooms in the during the daytime. The fragrance is quite high, and towards the afternoon time, when the sun heats up a bit, the heat is more, then the fragrance somewhat fades away. In the morning and the evening time, the fragrance is maximum, I must say. Such beautiful pendant hanging orchids are my favorite. There are, all of them cannot be shown in one frame, but you can see the beauty of it. This has bloomed year on year for me. It is almost more than 10 years that this orchid has been with me. It has been blooming all since. Every year it doesn't disappoint me at all, and I have to take, I should say, zero care for this orchid. It is mounted on a neem tree where it gets direct sunlight. During the heater days it gets direct sunlight, and it is a heat tolerant orchid. It is outside in the sun, full sun, during the afternoon and also during rainy days. Next in line is the beautiful Phalaenopsis tetraspis. This is a orchid in which every bloom shows up in different combination of colors. Each petal is different in each bloom. You can see the other one has 2 or 3 red petals. Here there is only one red petal and the other petals are white in color. The lip is a very striking one. This tetraspis is a species primary hybrid orchid, and it is very fragrant. The plant hasn't put out too many leaves, so this year I have planned to cut off the spikes that will appear. During the summertime, I have to apply fertilizer to this because I can see the leaves are not growing that much. And last year I repotted this orchid and it has been growing since then. Together with the blooms, one new leaf has appeared, and primary hybrids are more robust than normal hybrid orchids and normal hybrid Phalaenopsis orchids in terms of heat tolerance and water tolerance and an amount of light they need. Normal hybrid Phalaenopsis orchids need a medium amount of light, but primary hybrid orchids can thrive in high amount of shaded light. and just I cannot resist the my temptation to see the blooms, and that is why I didn't cut the spikes this year. But next year, as when spikes will appear, I'll cut them off. I have to resist myself the temptation, because I need this orchid to grow more. I need to allow this orchid to grow robust, and then I will have more number of blooms, and I will have a very nice show of buds. Next in line is an orchid which I haven't shown you before. This is the Cymbidium aloifolium. Last year I got a bloom, but I couldn't show it to you. This is a plant which I acquired almost 8 to 9 years back, but it hadn't bloomed. This is the mother plant from which another kiki had appeared. That kiki had bloomed, but the mother plant never bloomed until this year. And one peculiarity of this orchid I have noticed is that you won't, even if you observe it daily, you won't be able to see the spike growing. And suddenly one day you will see a long spike with buds and all, and then you will know that okay, this orchid has put out a spike. This has happened last year also with the kiki that I was mentioning. The kiki had put out a spike. I keep on observing this plant, but I didn't see. Maybe there is a bit of camouflage of the spike with the background, with the roots maybe, but I don't know. But I had suddenly discovered that this orchid has put out a spike. This year also has happened the same thing. The mother plant put out a spike, put out the buds. The buds were almost about to open up, and then I saw the spike. The orchid is not a very fragrant orchid. The blooms also do not last very long. Almost within 3 to 4 days the blooms are over, they fade away. It is not a very pleasant fragrant orchid, I must say. I do not like the fragrance at all. Next in line is the hybrid Phalaenopsis orchid. I was not expecting this orchid to put out spikes, and it has put out 2 spikes. Many of the buds fell off because the mother plant had died, and it had put out a kiki, and the kiki has bloomed. The kiki has not yet developed very much, but from the mother plant itself, maybe it is getting the nourishment. It has put out 2 spikes, and many of the buds fell off. 1 or 2 or 3 buds have survived, and they have bloomed. The mother plant cannot be seen right now. It is almost already dead, fully dead. The kiki is there, and I will have to cut off the 2 spikes because it is draining out energy from the kiki. The kiki has to grow. It doesn't have too many leaves, and but it is not unhealthy. It is quite healthy. It is growing. It has put out a leaf already together with the spike, and but I have to give some time for the kiki to grow, to become fully matured, fully able to produce spikes and buds, because spikes and buds take out maximum energy from the orchid, which hampers the growth of the orchid. So I have to cut out the spikes just for the bloom, just to show you the bloom. I kept the spike, and now I'll cut it off, and the bloom is quite beautiful. It is not fragrant. It is a hybrid Phalaenopsis orchid. Other buds, either 2 or 3 buds that will bloom, and then I'll cut off the spike. Another Phalaenopsis hybrid orchid that is growing under the same condition as the previous one is this one. The color pattern is also almost similar, white and magenta colored. There were many buds, but most of them have fallen off. Only one survived. This also is a orchid where the mother plant had died off. The kiki has produced a spike, and I think there will be a branching on this spike, but I will cut off this spike because again the spike has been draining out much energy from the plant. There are only 3 or 4 leaves, 3 or 4 leaves, and this orchid has to grow. Otherwise what will happen is that the kiki will not grow properly, because in the heat water will get evaporated, will get drained out, and it will hamper the growth of the orchid. So I need to cut off the spike, and because I need energy for the kiki to grow properly, maybe I'll give 2 years to this orchid to grow properly, to grow more leaves, more places, so that in the third year it will grow 2 or 3 spikes altogether. And because in Phalaenopsis hybrid orchids, there is a tendency that I have seen that there is a tendency after 2 to 3 years of blooming, the plant suddenly dies off. This is because of spikes mainly. The spikes drain out energy and the orchid cannot grow. The roots dry up, the roots cannot grow, it cannot take up nutrients, and subsequently the plant has to die off. And lastly, I have a Anosmum hybrid orchid. You have seen it in a video that I uploaded last year. I bought 4 Dendrobium orchids together. This is one of them. This bud bloomed later than the other 3. It has fragrance, and also it has a very striking colored lip for pollination, to attract insects for pollination. So that's all for today. Hope you liked my video, hope you like my blooms. Please let me know about your views, your comments, your ideas in the comment section. I will be waiting for them. They give me energy and boost to make new videos. Thank you for watching.